So welcome to my channel. So my channel name is Cloud TechNet. It's a training partners for an Hyderabad location, and I'm providing the technical support, consulting, and technology trainings. So today's session is like we have a Amazon Web Services introduction session. So you'll be considering cloud computing introduction session or Amazon Web Services introduction session. Both are same. So today's agenda for the next 30 minutes. So we are going to discuss these many points. So wherever you have any doubts, you can stop and you can ask me. I will clear your doubts. So first of all, go to the slide about me. So so my name is Mahesh Naidu. So I have a 12 plus years of experience and well-known technologies I worked in past my 12 years. I'm working VMware, Citrix. In Citrix, we have Zenab, Zendesktop, Netscaler. In cloud computing technologies like Amazon Web Services in administration. So I have done certifications in couple of technologies like VMware Certified Professional 6.5 and Citrix Certified Sales Professional, and third one Amazon Web Services Certified Solution Architect Professional and Associate. So I can speak, there are three languages: English, Telugu, Tamil. So whichever the language is comfortable, you can speak with me. There is no doubt at all. So coming to that, the very important slide, what is meaning of cloud computing? Okay, if you check this cloud computing definition in internet, so you're Googling or might be you're searching in Wikipedia and some other blogs and some other websites, different types of definitions will come at across the internet. So because of internet is a vast thing, right? So for that reason, so I'm taking as a definitions very simplest way. So mainly the cloud computing means the currently what are the technologies we are using. First we need to understand. Take any a small company to a larger enterprises. A small in your street there is a small diagnostic center or might be a small hospital to a bigger IT company like Infosys, TCS, like that. There's a big company. So everyone they will use different types of hardware peripherals, and they'll use the hardware and software. They will maintain infrastructure. So the complete information technology will be divided into programs, applications, storage, network, and servers. So these are the five important items we require to build your information technology data center, or might be you're setting up your company information. So like that, if you are startup company, you want to buy your programmer, so you want to take any engineer to develop your applications, and they have to program that particular application and buy some application from the third party vendor, and you have to use a storage for important data. You will keep it in your system, and network is used for communication purpose. There's a finally server is required to maintain all the data to running the computing process. It's completely is a huge task are involving to reduce these all the type of services. In nowadays, any program or application, storage, network, server, we are accessing through internet. Through accessing internet these services, so the end user using browser, either client side applications from their PCs, laptops, mobiles, tab, smart TV, etc., etc., and the end user without installing and updating and maintaining them. So this entire the technology called as cloud computing. Very simplest. So there are services like program, application, storage, network, servers over accessing internet. So from the end user machine, you are connecting through browser or might be client side application on your machine or might be laptop, mobile, tab, smart TV. The end user without installing and updating and maintaining them. This entire process will help with of called క్లౌడ్ కంప్యూటింగ్. మనం రెగ్యులర్గా వాడుతున్న కంప్యూటర్ సర్వీసెస్ చూసుకుంటే ప్రోగ్రామ్, అప్లికేషన్స్, స్టోరేజ్, నెట్వర్క్, సర్వర్స్, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనకి నార్మల్గా మనమే సెటప్ చేసుకోవాలా ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ని. ఇలాగ సెటప్ చేసుకోకుండా మనం ఈ సర్వీస్ అన్నిటినీ కూడా ఇంటర్నెట్ని యూస్ చేసి ఎంతవరకు కావాలనుకుంటే అంతవరకు యూస్ చేసుకుని దానికి అమౌంట్ పే చేసేసుకోవచ్చు. సో దీనివల్ల మనము ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు అప్లికేషన్ని. ఎప్పుడైనా అప్డేట్స్ వచ్చిందనుకోండి, అప్డేట్స్ కూడా చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. దానికి మెయింటెనెన్స్ కాస్ట్ కూడా మనం పే చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. రైట్. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ టేక్ కేర్ బై క్లౌడ్ కంప్యూటింగ్ సర్వీస్ ప్రొవైడర్. Everything will be maintaining by cloud computing service provider. So very simplest form cloud computing is the managing of computer services like programs, applications, storage, network, servers, all the services you are accessing through over internet. By end user, how you will access through browser, client side applications on your PC, laptop, mobile tabs, on smart TV, the end user without installing, update and maintaining. I'll give you a best example for you guys. Okay, 15 years back, 15 to 20 years back. So your city or might be your village. Okay, so everyone their home they have a small set of might be black and white TV or might be color TVs will be there. These are televisions. So how you will watch your channels basically? How you will watch your channels? So you are taking a might be you have to set up your antenna at your terrace and the cable will be connected to your TV and you have to put your channels 1, 2, 3, 4. So based upon the frequency, you're watching your channels. Nowadays, how you're watching your channels? Okay, so because we are taking a DTH connection from one of the reputed service provider like Tata Sky, Videocon, Airtel, there are so many vendors are available. So you have to take the setup box and install the receiver on the terrace and just you are watching your channels based upon your subscription. You're watching entire world channels nowadays. So 15 years back, after the aerials was went down, so your local service provider was taking a big antennas in the terrace and all the receivers will be taking in their home and they'll be connecting and buying the subscription. They'll be charging for based upon the channels they'll be telecasting in the locality. So do you know about that kind of DTH services you have seen in your childhood days? Do you agree? So now the cloud computing was evolved nowadays. The technology was very simple. So you are taking only small set-top box and you are installing on your home and connected with a cable with your antenna and the antenna will be set in a direction and it will be receiving the frequency and you are inserting a smart card with the access code and you are buying a subscription with the help of the smart card and you are watching your channels. Telugu, Tamil, English, Hindi, all the channels you are watching, all the world channels. You're sitting at your home and you're not maintaining all the receivers. Guys, who is maintaining all the receivers? Who is maintaining all the receivers to watch your channels? So might be your vendor. So example, Sun DTH. Sun DTH vendor is maintaining all the receivers, their data center. Tata Sky. Tata Sky data center, they're maintaining all the receivers in the world receivers. I'll tell you what is meaning of receiver. Very simple. Okay. So I think somebody was from the north, I think Saurabh Singh. So mostly you will watch star channels. Yes or no, Saurabh? So from north mainly, you'll watch star channels. So star is a service provider. I have a couple of channels in between in that star groups. They will be releasing in a different English, Hindi, Urdu, and some Telugu channels and Tamil channels like that. So if you want to watch those channels, you have to buy a receiver from the star vendor. Star receiver you need to buy it. So 15 years back, our local service vendor is buying a receiver from the star. Come back to that south side. So we are watching Sun Network channels, Sun TV, KTV, Gemini, Gemini movies, comedies. So these all the channels which is related to is a part of Sun Group, Sun Networks. We had to take it the channels from Sun Networks. We need to buy the Sun receiver. Understood? The same way ETV networks. So like that, there are different types of vendors in the market, and they have maintaining the channels under that network group. So you want to watch the channel, you have to buy that receiver. The receiver is not a simple small cost; it's a very big cost, like in some lakhs. And per month also they'll be charged for your monthly rental is also very high. So for that reason, in earlier days, you're watching 3 to 4 channels. The maximum they'll collected 50 rupees and 100 rupees. Did you remember that? In 10 years back, 10, 15 years back. So because of the cost usage is very high, because of the maintenance cost to running all the receivers in your home, the local service provider, he is a maintenance cost of the power bill, everything is high. So for that reason, they will also they charge the more amount from the customer. So this is one of the best example for you guys. Understood? So this is one of the best example for you. And second one, everyone nowadays we are using smartphones with internet facility. So 3G, 4G. So nowadays no one uses GPRS connection, right? So everyone has a 3G or might be 4G connections. So let's take an example. If you want to send an email, if you want to send an email 15, 20 years back. So do you know how you can send an email? Any idea? 15, 20 years back. No idea? Okay, good. So you know Yahoo Mail and Gmail. So before Yahoo Mail and Gmail, so we have called Sify Mail, Sify, SIFY, Sify.com. So India is the first internet service provider, Sify.com. Okay, the Sify.com was introducing the business emails. Okay, so that is very costly one. So why? Because they'll be maintaining the servers on the data center for mail communication purpose, for receiving an orders from the customer and send the communications to the customers, all the exchanging information, sending and receiving through emails. Even nowadays also we are doing the same method. But as an individual person, now if you want to send any message to other person by sending by email, either you are using Hotmail, Gmail or Yahoo Mail. I think nowadays Yahoo Mail is not there, I think, right? So these are the Rediff Mail also is there. So these are the service providers are available in the market. But normally, so if you want to send an email, you want to buy a server, install operating system, install mail server, install mailbox, and create a user and associate user with the mailbox, and you have to install the client mission and connect the client application, and the client application should configure with the mail server and configure the mailbox, and you can send a mail or receiving. That is a big steps will be involving. But nowadays, only 5 minutes. Go to internet browser, gmail.com, sign up, give your first name, last name, and login address, password, confirm password, give your date of birth for security reasons, and put your male or female, and your click OK to create your account. Next minute you can send your mails and you can receive your emails. Yes or no? How simple work nowadays available through internet. So these are the technologies evolved a lot. So because of it, the cloud computing. That means you are not maintaining a server only and the end user machine. You are connecting through browser or might be a client side application. Example, if you are using laptop, might you are using browser like a Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer. You are watching gmail.com and you're sending and receiving emails. If the same way, if you're using phone, how you will send and receiving emails? You will install Gmail application from the Android store or might be iOS store, right? Yes or no? So that's a very simple. The cloud computing was evolved a lot. This is a very simple example, guys. I'm not going to deeper. So very simple example for you. So do you have any questions in this slide before going to next slide? So moving to the next slide. So cloud computing model. So basically cloud computing model, they divided based upon the technology. Why is they divided into three models? SaaS, second one is PaaS, and third one is IaaS. SaaS means software as a service. So let's we'll move to what is meaning of SaaS. So by the end user, without installing an application, without application updating, without maintaining application, we are using that. One of the best example, Facebook, Gmail, YouTube, Skype, Pinterest, eBay, PayPal, Google Maps. Are you bothering about that application upgrade? Are you bothering about that application installation? No, right? So do you configuring that application on the server? No, right? So only the client side application only we are installing on your mobile and your system, tab, smart TVs, etc., etc., and you are accessing the applications. One of the best example for SaaS. So I'll take a best example for you. So how many people know about Tally? TALLY, Tally. ఇక్కడ ఎందరికి తెలుసు టాలీ అనే సాఫ్ట్వేర్? Okay, so what is the main job they're doing by Tally software? Any idea? For account purpose we are using, right? For accounting purpose we are using Tally software. Okay, fine. So the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, so was introduced the GST concept a couple of years back. Do you know, right? So everyone know about that GST, right? So if you're running in a small company or might be you're running a small business, so you definitely pay the GST to the government. Yes or no? Do you agree? How you will calculate, Saurabh? Tell me. If you're running a small shop, so how you will be paying the GST, the amount to the government? So how you will calculate? You can tell me now. You don't know, right? We don't know formula. So if everyone know about that formula, definitely that will be failure concept. Yes or no? So nowadays there are simplified applications, simplified GST calculators available in the Android store uh, and iOS stores. So you can directly go and download the application and you can create your merchant account on that application and on daily basis how much you are spending for your business, how much profit you are receiving, how much business was completed today. All the information you have to entering in the software itself. Very easy software. Okay, so you don't want any training and all. So enter the all the information. Uh, so once you want to calculate the GST, you can click on the button GST. They'll calculate automatically in the back end and they'll give you the report. Hey, this much of a business you run the entire month. So this much of amount you have to pay for a GST amount to the government. So that will be giving calculation for you. Okay. So this is one of the best example. But the same job will be taken care by Tally also. Tally software also doing same kind of activity. Guys, can you install Tally on your personal laptop or desktop? You need a license. You need a, you need a license, definitely. Without license, the software cannot work. Might be if you are free trial, only 1 month or 2 months it will work. After that, you have to buy the license. The Tally software is not a cheaper, is a somewhat big cost. So nowadays we know the website name called Joho. Joho is a online accounting company. So you can directly go to website and you can create a portal with your company name, and you can give you all your account details. You can run the final audit. They'll give you the output of how much you need to pay for a government. Very simply, they'll explain. And there's an option for pay the GST to directly the site to the GST site. So very simple task. So have you have you installed the Joho servers? No. Have you maintaining the Joho servers? No. So have you updating every monthly or quarterly based upon the technology? No. You're using the services. These are the best example for SaaS based computing model. Software as a service. Okay. So you don't want to maintain anything, just you are end user with the internet capable device. You're connecting the services and using, and once you're using, so you'll come back. Moving to the next one, PaaS, platform as a service. So mainly who will be target audience for PaaS? Programmers. Who is a programmer? He will writing some code, right? He's a programmer. Who is a developer mainly? He building a new application, right? He creating a new application. He is a developer. So programmers and developers, they want to set up a new program or maybe development. They need some platform. Without platform, cannot create any applications for a production area. So if you want to build in a production, so you have to buy the software, you have to buy the hardware, installing and configuring, uh, installing the again platform based softwares, and installing and configuring. If any issues arises, you have to call the expert to troubleshoot the issue. Yes or no? So finally, so you have to maintaining them. So PaaS is a ready-made software, is available in the internet, and you can directly go log in and you can build your application. You can write your code and you can directly push it. You don't want to maintain them. So in internet, there are so many companies are available. These are the best example for you. Google App Engine, Force.com, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Elastic Beanstalk, VMware Cloud Foundry. Guys, I'll give you one best example for you. So now the situation is COVID-19. Okay, everyone they're working from home due to uh, some restrictions from the government. Yes or no, we have to accept it. Huh? So if you are a programmer, you are not working from home, so you want to work from home itself. So office machine cannot be accessible. There's a desktop PC. How you can write your code and you can develop your application? Can you tell me, guys? You will lose your business if you're not developing an application for a company. So platform as a service will help you for building application. You can connect from your home. You can use any Amazon, Azure, Google, VMware. You can connect from home directly. You can build your applications. You don't want to maintain any data center. It's a ready-madely available platform as a service. And third one, infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure means so mainly the system administrators and network administrator mainly they'll be targeting for IIS. So example, you want to set up a company for a small company. We need some space and we have to take a power connection, AC, air cooling connections. So because of the servers will be more heat, right? You want to cooling that servers, it required. And you have to buy the rack servers and blade servers and installing an operating system and applications and maintaining them. It's very too much of cost, right? So now it's an example for COVID-19. If you need 100 servers right now, so your customer is wanted. So COVID-19, there is no shop is open to buy a server. There is no transport to transfer your server from one locations to another location. It's not possible. But in IaaS model, you can directly log into website in example, I have Amazon EC2. Hey, I needed 10 machines. You can select it. What is the names? What are the operating system? You can click finish. Within 10 minutes, the server will be ready. Within 10 minutes, server will be ready. Even 100 machines also. So that much of fast access will be provided from the cloud services. One of the best example for IaaS. Okay. So this is a right now situation COVID-19. So most of the means all over the world, everyone they are migrating to cloud services. So now can think about what is the importance of cloud computing nowadays. So this is a big lesson for all the IT companies with the COVID-19. So everyone is migrating to cloud services. So the topmost service providers in the market, Amazon, Azure, and Google Cloud. So first ranking is Amazon, and second ranking is Azure, and third ranking is a Google Cloud Platform. I'm not telling, so I'll give you the survey report. You can check that. Okay. Any questions? Right. Now, this is the cloud deployment model. So whenever you want to set up a cloud, so the deployment will be there are four types. So private mode, public mode, hybrid mode, and community mode. So take about example for first private mode. So private cloud will be only used for the entire data center, a single company. Okay, if example TCS wants to build a private cloud environment, so only for that company only. So it should not access by others. It should not access by others. Only for only one company. So the data center either we can build in a local office, that means inside of your office premises, that is internally, or externally, is a rented building outside of the office based upon the requirement. Community cloud means the same setup. Here there will only one organizations they're maintaining, right? Here there are several organizations. There's a 10, 15, 20. There's a multiple companies. There's a huge number of companies. They'll be talking each other. They'll building the data centers in a common location. Okay. So maximum the data center will be external location. If internally, so one of the company they want to host at the data center. ஸோ அந்த டேட்டா சென்டர் வந்து அதில் ஒரு 10 கம்பெனிஸ் வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணுதுன்னா அதில் ஒரு கம்பெனியில் வந்து நீங்கள் அந்த டேட்டா சென்டர் வைக்கலாம். இல்லைன்னா அந்த 10 கம்பெனி வந்து ஒத்துக்கல இந்த டேட்டா சென்டர் வைக்கிறதுக்கு, நீங்கள் அந்த 10 கம்பெனிஸ் வெளியில் வந்து வைக்கலாம். யாராவது ஒரு ரெண்டட் బిల్డింగ్ எடுத்துக்கிட்டு அதில் வந்து நீங்கள் డేటా సెంటర్ బిల్డ్ பண்ணலாம். ఒక 10 కంపెనీస్ కలిపి ఒక డేటా సెంటర్ని బిల్డ్ చేస్తుంది. అలాంటప్పుడు ఆ డేటా సెంటర్ని ఆ 10 కంపెనీస్లో ఏదైనా ఒక కంపెనీలో మనము మ్యూచువల్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్తో ఒక బిల్డింగ్లో మనం సెటప్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇట్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్ అందరూ కలిసి అడ్జస్ట్ లేకపోతే ఆ డేటా సెంటర్ని బయట ఎక్కడైనా బిల్డ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఆల్ ద కంపెనీస్ విల్ బి యాక్సెసింగ్ ద షేర్డ్ డేటా సెంటర్. షేర్డ్ డేటా సెంటర్. Now there is a public cloud. Public cloud means is open for all. Anyone can able to access and anyone can able to create it. It's open for all. ఎవరైనా వెళ్ళి ఎవరైనా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. యారాவது క్రియేట్ பண்ணிக்கலாம், பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. So example, Facebook account is a public cloud. Anyone can go and create and they can post the message. They can advertise the message from the Facebook. YouTube is a public. Amazon Web Services is a public cloud. Azure is a public cloud. Google Cloud Platform is a public cloud. That is one of the best example for it. So hybrid cloud, you can mix any of the cloud, like example, private cloud to public cloud, a public cloud to community cloud to private cloud. You can mixing each other. That is called hybrid model. So why is mixing? So because of the cost comparity, it might be one service is very less in a public cloud compared to the private. So at the time, some services will be running on private cloud, some services will be running on public cloud. So we are connecting each other with the help of hybrid based model. Hybrid based model. So these are the four types of models will be available. The huge popularity model is public cloud. So now what we are teaching now here is a public model, but little bit part will be coming with the hybrid model also. సో మన ట్రైనింగ్ మొత్తం కూడా పబ్లిక్ ట్రైనింగ్ మీదనే ఉంటుంది. సో కొంత పార్ట్ హైబ్రిడ్ కూడా మనకి బిల్డ్ చేస్తాం. సో హైబ్రిడ్ అనేది మనం బిల్డ్ చేసే దాన్ని బట్టి ఉంటుంది. ஸோ நம்ம பில்ட் பண்ணுறது மாதிரி தான் ஹைப்ரிட் கிளவுட்ன்றது வந்து எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் ஆகும். தெர் இஸ் நோ ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் சாஃப்ட்வேர் ஃபார் ஹைப்ரிட் கிளவுட். ஓகே, எனி கொஷன்ஸ்? ஸோ மீட்டிங் இஸ் எண்டிங் இன் நெக்ஸ்ட் 1 minute. ஸோ ஐ எம் எண்டிங் த மீட்டிங் அண்ட் ரீஜாயினிங். ஸோ நான் வந்து மீட்டிங் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு மறுபடியும் ஆன் பண்ணுறேன். ஸோ இமீடியட்டாக ஜாயின் பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே, so the meeting is ending in within 1 minute. So can you please exit and please join it in the same meeting ID with the same password. So thanks for joining back. So do you have any questions in the cloud deployment models? Okay, thanks Saurabh for confirmation. So let's move to that another slide. So advantage of cloud computing. So basically these are the main points: cost saving, okay, security, flexibility for building your data center. So is a big storage. We have a backup solution and recovery solution will be there, and rapid deployment. Example, if you need 1,000 servers, that also can be implemented within a short span of time. Dynamically scaling, that means example, at present we created 10 servers, so there is a huge customers are connecting on your environment, so you can immediately automatically the servers count will be automatically increasing, and whenever the customer is disconnecting the sessions, again the server count will be reducing. Example, Flipkart, most of the people know about Flipkart, right? So sometimes every year, 1 or 2 times, the Flipkart or Amazon will be they're giving an offer, right? Great India sale, big billionaire sale, right? This type of sales they'll be introducing, right? So at the time, there are huge number of customers they're accessing a website. So that time mostly we will get a slow response, right? Or one of the best example for IRCTC, you are booking your train ticket at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, or might be Tatkal, or might be reservation. So during that time, there is a more people will be connecting on the website. Yes or no? Entire India, they'll be connecting to IRCTC web page. Huh? So not only you, so there are vendors. and IRCTC reservation centers and individual persons. Not only for Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Orissa, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, everywhere the people will be trying to book the train tickets from one station to another station. So there are huge number of requests when receiving to the server. Automatically, the the server will be in a uh, so there is a huge CPU utilization or might be memory utilization. The server will be become very slow. But if you're increasing the server count, we don't get any problem, right? Instead of running 10 servers, we can increasing 5 servers or 20 servers. Those number of connections, you can easily handle it. But so those type of dynamic scaling is possible through cloud computing model. Understood? So that's a very, very important nowadays. Dynamic scalings are very, very important. They're using in a cloud computing model. That's what we are migrating also. And pay as you go model. So whenever you're using and you're paying for that. That's it. Whenever you are using, so that much of hours only you are paying for it. So mainly cloud services will be they charged a minimum 1 hour, 1 month, and 1 year like that. They'll be charged for you. So based upon your usage on the each services, and you can pay for it. Understood? So this is the mainly we are focusing on a advantage of cloud computing. Yes, please. Yes, please. Mhm, mhm. Okay. Good question. Good question, Saurabh. Okay. Saurabh is asking, this is cloud computing is which is related to VMware. So the VMware is creating a virtual machine based upon the requirement from the VMware servers. That is your question, Saurabh? Okay, good. So it's a very interesting question is asking. So let me explain what is meaning of VMware. Okay. So basically, VMware is a company, is a IT software developing company, IT software developing company. So normally, either your personal laptop or your personal desktop, or maybe your office data center server. So you can take any example. Normally, one hardware, how many operating system we are running? In single hardware, how many operating system we are running? Only one. Only one. Only one operating system. But inside that operating system, there are so many applications we are running. Yes or no? Okay, good question. Just give me a minute. So you're able to see my screen? Okay. So normally in our data centers, in our company data centers, they'll maintain rack server. They'll maintain rack server. Okay. This is a server rack. So the server will be looking like this. So each server will be looking like this. This is one of the part. Okay. This is a one of the part. So this is a complete rack. The rack consists of there are four servers will be available. Understood? There are four servers will be available. I'm taking only one server here. But so inside this computer, normally we are running only one operating system. Normally, as usually, we are running one operating system. Either it's a 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM. Normally, we are running only one operating system, either Linux operating system or Windows operating system or etc. etc. But nowadays, with the VMware was came into the market, the technology called virtualization technology. A single hardware machine, we can use it for multiple operating system. A single hardware machine, we can use it for multiple operating system. But the multiple operating system cannot be installed directly. The multiple operating system cannot be directly installed. So we need a virtualization software. So basically the virtualization software is made by VMware company. Am I understood right, Saurabh? So virtualization technology software will be made by, developed by the company name called VMware. Not only VMware, there are so many companies are in the market. The number one company is VMware. The market leader is VMware. Okay. So good question. We have to ask these kind of interesting questions, right? So now, uh, the basically VMware server name called as ESX server, guys. Basically, basically VMware server name called as ESXi. So let's take example. This is our ESXi server. This is our ESXi server. So this is our rack. This is a rack server 1, 2, 3. So each rack will be look like this. This is a look like this. Okay. Now this server consists of the VMware ESX software. The VMware ESX software. The VMware ESX software will be creating virtual machines. So example, I'm creating virtual machine like this. Example, this is a VM. Okay. This is a one VM I created. So like this here. Same way, I have a based upon the hardware capacity, I'm creating a number of virtual machines inside the server. So now there are three virtual machines I created in one server. So that means there are three operating system is running. There are three operating system is running. So this virtualization technology, the same will be managed by all the cloud computing service provider. Example, Amazon Web Services, Azure, Google Cloud, everyone they are using virtualization technology. So this is the best example for you. This is a diagram you can see here. This is a best example for you. See here. This is your rack server. You are installing a VMware. On the top of VMware, you are creating a virtual machines. So the number of virtual machines we are creating is depends upon the hardware capacity. So this much of hardware will maintain in the cloud computing data center across the world. There is a huge data centers, the huge data center. So example, lakhs of servers they'll be maintaining in the each data center, storage, network, everything, right? So especially different companies they'll maintain different type of hypervisor based upon their mutual understanding between the hypervisor company to cloud computing company, right? So the VMware competitor's name is called as Zen Server. There's a Citrix company, right? Any questions? So your question answer is cloud computing definitely depending on the virtualization concepts. Okay, but whether VMware products is using or not, that depends upon the cloud computing company agreement with the virtualization vendor. So basically, uh, Amazon Web Services, they'll not use a VMware ESX server. They will use Zen server. Okay. They'll use a Zen server. Microsoft Azure, they'll use a Hyper-V. So like that, they have each company have their type with the other virtualizations products company. They're buying the license. They're building their cloud computing data centers. So am I answer your questions, Saurabh? Thank you. So anyone have any questions? So, so one of the best example for cloud. So these are the main companies in the market. There are so many companies. I have taken reputed brand names like Dropbox, Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Calendar, Amazon Web Services, Azure, Gmail, Facebook. So these are the best example for cloud. So nowadays we are using on daily basis. So coming to the AWS certification, after you complete the course, or might be before you are joining the course, so which course you are learning? So definitely you'll ask some questions, right? So basically there are three types of courses will be available in the cloud, and the specialty is different. Okay, so we are going to only talk about this model. So foundational, we call it as cloud practitioner. So you can take a associate course. Automatically, we will give you the difference between the cloud and normal technology. The basic information we will teach. So foundational topics will be covered in associate level course or might be professional level course. Here I'm teaching the professional level course. So that is called Amazon Certified Solution Architect Professional. Okay, AWS Certified Solutions Architect Professional. This is the course I'm teaching here. Okay, so if you are going for a DevOps engineer, so you need to learn SysOps administrator and developer associate, then you can go for DevOps engineer. So this is completely program based access. Who are all interested, DevOps based concept, you can tell me. I will arrange another trainer to teach a DevOps engineer program. I'm not teaching DevOps, so I'm only teaching admin part. Okay, so for admin part you don't require any coding knowledge. You can directly you can learn. So even without basic knowledge about computer knowledge also, you can directly learn the codes. But here, no. So you need a program knowledge like .NET, Java experience is required, Python. So like that coding is required. That depends on the company to company, Umesh. So some companies they will require certificates. Some companies doesn't require certificate. Directly they are hiring the people into the company. So that depends. So if you have a money, you can spend and you can write exam. If you don't have money, don't go for it. My suggestion. Okay. But anyhow, you are completing the course. The matter is you are preparing and you're going to write exam. That's it. Okay. Then coming to so here I'm teaching the course. The exam code name is AWS SAP C01. Okay, C01. So there are five categories: design for organization complexity, design for new solution, migration planning, cost control, continuous improvement for existing solutions. So these are five. So each uh, domain will be some amount of percentage the total exam. So the total exam is 100%. So this is very clearly we have to understand before we have to go for exam. So we have a totally 170 minutes exam. 170 minutes exam. We have a 75 questions for you. The total exam 75 questions and 170 minutes. So approximately each question you will get 2 minutes of time to write exam. Okay, it's not easy, so you have need a more practice is required. Okay, more practice is required. Definitely is a multiple choice answers. So how you will be writing MSET exam or any entrance exam, same way, same way. So I'll help you how to clear this exam with some dumps and some test cases. So, but practice is must. So every month or every one twice in a month or once in a month, the question paper will be changing. Okay. So your practice is very important, and you have to cleanly, you have to read all the each domain, each services very clearly. Then only you have to clear your exams. Okay. So you should not concentrate on only one part. So you should be equally, you have to practice all the domains in the SAP, that is called Solution Architect Professional exam, right? So the people are very interesting for waiting for a course content, right? Hmm? Course content is required. So course content is available in this website. This is our website. So you can directly, you can take it. You can directly click here. So this is our website link, and you can come here and you can check the course outline, and so the topics, what are the teaching in this course, and what are the project we are doing now. Okay. Once you complete the course, so this project will be complete. This is a 2-tier architects project. So from the day one, we are working for this project only. So everyday class will be recording, and the recordings will be shared with the Google Drive or might be YouTube links. So you can directly, you can take the video from there. And AWS account access, your personal account you have to create with your Gmail account, and either you can use a credit card or debit card. So initially they will charge for 2 rupees, and that amount will be refunded within 3 to 4 business days. And your lab access for 1 year. So Amazon Web Services console access for 1 year they will provide it. So we have some terms and conditions. You have to follow the terms and conditions basically before you want to start your course. And interview, after course completion, I'll prepare a resume for you, okay, individually. So then I'll give it to you, and I'll help you how to apply the jobs in a Naukri portal and some other portal. So where the jobs mostly you will get it, then job portals, I'll help you on that. Any questions? Yeah, definitely one project. Okay. So project is means how it will be works in a real time manner. Okay, real time manner. Ah, ah. You have to spend more time for practice the lab, so that's very must. Okay. So and follow my instructions during the training, and whenever you have any doubts you can call me and WhatsApp me with errors. I'll help you on that, no issues. Okay. And next 4 days the training will be continue. So the timing would be, so 10 to 11 is a comfort for you. Any time adjust is required, anyone can tell me, we will adjust that. And this next 4 days will not charge anything from your packet, is completely free. So anyone, your friends are interested uh, to attend the training, yes, you can attend the training. I don't have any questions. No problem. Next 4 days. Okay. So I'll give you 2 more minutes. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Thank you, Saurabh. Yes, please. AWS admin, not a developer. Okay. So if you are interested in the development side, if you have a very good background in programmable knowledge like a .NET, Java, like that, you can go for DevOps. Okay. So if you're not that good at a programmer, you have to stick on admin only. There's only two courses. Okay. But little bit of there is a development part also I will teach. There is a couple of services will be there. So I will take and I'll teach you at the end of the course. Not only admin. So as a developer part also I'll teach you two services. This is a complementary. Okay. And the basic things, everything I will teach you. You don't want require any prerequisites, any basic technology. You don't worry. So I will teach basic networking, basic Windows administration, everything I will teach for a AWS admin course. You don't worry at all. Yeah, basic Linux administration. So all these things I will teach you. Don't worry. In this training only, we don't have any additional charges. So this is what we already discussed the fees. So you can we can discuss after 4 days. Okay, I'm not worry about that fees and all right now. So after 4 days, we'll discuss for that. No issues. So if you don't have any questions, we can leave for that day. Okay, thank you. Yeah, yeah, you too. So tomorrow class at 10 o'clock. Okay, please join. Yeah.